Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. We just had the annual shareholder meeting, and Elon was in a great mood and seemed to be enjoying himself. And there was, of course, a lot of great stuff in the presentation and a lot of great questions afterward. And Elon even did an interview with David Farber from the CNBC afterwards for a whole hour. So we have a lot of information to go through, and I will dive into many of these topics one or two or three at a time in upcoming videos. In this one, I would like to talk about Tesla's two new vehicles, the change in prices of the cars and demand, and advertising.
You know what? I believe in taking suggestions, so we'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Oh yes, Elon said Tesla will test out advertising and see how it goes. So let's check it all out and let's dive right in. So, Elon teased a little picture of the new vehicle in the dark, but also said they had two new products coming that he thinks people would be pretty excited about.
So, and people always want to know what our next product is. But this is not the time to... we obviously need to have a proper, dedicated product launch. I just want to emphasize that we are actually building a new product. We are actually designing a new product. We're not sitting on our hands here. There are two new products that I think you will be very excited about. And both the design of the products and the manufacturing techniques are head and shoulders above anything else that is present in industry.
So one is, of course, the more affordable next generation, smaller, compact model. But that leaves the question, what is the other one? Is it just the new Model 3 Highland we have been hearing so many rumors about? Or is it the van that they kind of gave a big hint about at Investor Day? Or is it just another version of the smaller compact car for the robotaxi use? Well, Elon did say he thinks that between those two models they would be able to sell about 5 million a year. So definitely they are both in the affordable market to get to these high volumes, but I don't think he is talking about the dedicated robotaxis, as demand for that vehicle is much higher than 5 million a year. That is pretty much endless for many years to come, until we have got the 2.5 billion cars on the road today shifted to autonomous cars. So I don't think he's talking about the robotaxi. It could be the new Model 3, but I don't think he is only talking about a refreshed version here of an already existing car. I do think he's talking about a brand new model. So my guess would be the van, as Tesla already showed us this at Investor Day. They have a smaller, compact, affordable car, but also clearly some kind of van under that sheet. So I think they have taken this down to the first principle and thought, if we make a van from the ground up, how would that look? What functions should it have? So I think they have made a pretty sick van that can of course be used as a little camper van, as the ID Bus, but actually one with camp mode. But also be able to turn it into a commercial van to transport goods. And this van will of course be built on the next generation platform, because as Elon said, those two models will be head and shoulders about everything else out there when it comes to design and the manufacturing process. So I think Elon is talking about the two cars they have under the covers here. So that should be a great boost for Tesla to get into two new segments to help them get to their goal of 20 million million cars produced in a year. But Elon also talked about the price cuts and why Tesla does this, and he further explained this in the interview on CNBC. But as Elon said, this is just to match the demand.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, we see what the demand is, and then we adjust pricing to meet the demand.
And Q1, of course, is the quarter that has the lowest demand in a year. So that is why we see most of the legacy automakers are down in sales in Q1 compared to Q4, of course, because of the seasonal demand changes. But Tesla did not want to see a dip in sales. They are here to grow because they are ramping up 2 new factories, so they wanted to sell at least as many cars in Q1 as they did in Q4, preferably a bit more, as Texas and Berlin were ramping up. And that is exactly what Tesla did. They are one of the very few big automakers that still doesn't see seasonal changes in their sales. They still grow quarter over quarter. But to be able to do that, they do have to fight against the seasonal change in demand there is in the industry. So that is why Tesla cut prices so significantly in the start of the year to make sure they could sell as many or even more vehicles than what they did in Q4 of last year, one of the biggest quarters in the year. And now we're coming out of the lowest quarter in a year, and what do you know? Now we see Tesla starting to raise prices again in many places. But as Elon explained in the interview, Tesla gets daily sales numbers. They know how many cars they sold yesterday. Legacy automakers have no clue. But Elon also explained that legacy automakers do change their prices all the time. You just don't see it because their prices are not as transparent as Tesla's is. So everyone is changing their prices all the time, and Tesla is no different. But Tesla can react to the demand changes every day if they need to. But as Elon said, you don't want to overreact to the dip in 1 or 2 days, but if the trend continues over a week or 2, they will adjust the price accordingly. So of course it has something to do with demand in the overall market that Tesla has to adjust to, but it is not because Tesla sees a demand problem for their products. As Elon has said many times, there are more people that would like a Tesla than people that can afford a Tesla, and Tesla's mission is to accelerate the transition to EVs, so their goal has always been to get their prices down, and the more cost Tesla can cut in their production, the cheaper the car will get, as Tesla will always pass that savings on to the customers. So the changes in prices is nothing new, but the big drop they made in January was of course a big one, but that just made sure that the whole world is now talking about it, so everyone knew you could get a Tesla at a discount, and more people are starting to realize that Tesla is no longer just these expensive cars, but most of the Model 3s and Ys are even under the US average selling price, and the Tesla Model 3's true cost of ownership is now as low as a Toyota Corolla over a 5-year span. So without spending a single dollar on advertising, Tesla got the whole world talking and got instant reaction and growth in demand even in the month of the year that is typically very bad in the auto industry. And on top of that, we have more people that might usually be ready to buy a car in this price point that is holding off because of a fear of a recession. Because we can see someone like Ford sales of their EVs was not just down compared to Q4 from the 30,000 in Q4 to only 12,000 in Q1, but Ford was actually down from 18,000 in Q1 of last year. But Tesla grew year over year 36% and even sold more cars in Q1 than they did in Q4. This is such a great accomplishment from Tesla. But most of the so-called analysts thought this was a bad quarter for Tesla. They do not really see the big picture. But speaking of making prices so big it becomes advertising, well, Elon just said on stage, okay, we will try out advertising and see how it goes.
You know what? I believe in taking suggestions, so we'll try a little advertising and see how it goes. Okay. Okay. I wasn't expecting that level of enthusiasm. But okay, it sounds like our shareholders, if I read between the lines, subtle as it is, are saying we should probably do some advertising. Okay, very well.
So first, congratulations on your decision to try advertising. We all want Tesla to pass Apple in market cap.
I didn't realize people wanted it that much.
But as Elon says, Tesla does not have a demand problem, but they might get it if too many people learns how much more value for money a Tesla is compared to pretty much any other EV out there. It is the safest, the fastest, most efficient, best charging network, preheating the battery, best software by miles. It gets better over time with over-the-air software update. As Elon also explained, they can even change the way the airbag deploys with software updates if they get new data from a crash that teaches Tesla something new, as Tesla knows instantly if one of their vehicles has been in a crash and can learn from that data. No one else can do this. They don't even know if their car has been in a crash. So advertising can be very beneficial to teach people about how much better and more convenient an EV is compared to an ICE car, and that Teslas are actually the best value for money on the planet by miles. But this could end up making Tesla have to raise their prices again short term if this would actually boost demand as much as many institutional investors think it will. And many of them are of course very short thinking, so they maybe even think that's a good thing because that will boost Tesla's profits short term. Yes, but that is actually working against Tesla's mission, that is to get EVs out to as many people as possible as fast as possible. Raising prices will only slow that down, because if demand goes up all over the world because of Tesla advertising, we will probably see wait time goes back up, and Tesla don't want that, because if you order a car, you want to get it as fast as possible. So it is not a good customer experience to wait 6 to 12 months to get your car you just ordered, as we have seen so many examples of. I even know people personally that have cancelled their Q4 e-tron order because they have been waiting for almost a year, and then it got delayed another 6 months, and then they said, okay, never mind, just keep your Q4. I will go into Tesla's website. In 2 minutes, I will have ordered a Model Y that is even a better EV, and then they will get it within a month. So people also have to keep in mind that wait time is very important to have happy customers. And also keep in mind, Tesla does not have a demand problem. They sell every vehicle they have ever made. Just look at this chart from the chart master himself, James, can't underscore enough. If we look back over the last 5 years, Tesla's production and delivery numbers have been just absolutely perfect, follow each other almost perfectly. That has also meant that Tesla had to raise prices to highs that Elon Musk himself said were embarrassingly high. But it was necessary to keep production, wait time and demand in check. And the difference we are seeing in a single quarter is just the vehicles in transit, and Tesla has already explained this, that it is to smoothen out the delivery waves. So Tesla has actually been extremely good on controlling this through the years, even though some institutional investors think they know better than Tesla. You need to advertise. Well, now Tesla will try it out, and we will see what will happen. Maybe nothing, maybe something, maybe they will have to raise their prices again, which short term will be good for their profit, but will be working against Tesla's mission. So we will see what will happen, but people don't have to be afraid of Tesla's demand going forward, as Tesla doesn't just have one new model coming up, they have 2 new models, and that is on top of the Cybertruck that is coming out later this year. So Tesla will enter 3 new segments in the car market within the next couple of years, and one of them will for sure enter Tesla into about 45% of the entire car market. So a huge demand for that car compared to Tesla today, that is in less than 10% of the market with the cars they have today. So, as always, Tesla is just getting started. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.